Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Bhaktavijaya445. As you may remember, Mahipati was writing an invocation. O Adokshaja Vishnu, thou art the highest of all. With love thou dost worship thy bhaktas. But thou dost not come to them when various means of coaxing are used. Thy bhaktas sing thy praises. Thou dost like their lives. Thou hast placed me in the front as thy instrument. But in reality, thou art the independent speaker. Visoba Saraf during famine. Visoba Saraf was a loving bhakta of God. He lived in the sacred city of Pandari. Although a banker, he was indifferent to worldly things. He had 4 sons and a faithful wife, who was favorably inclined to him. She never opposed the order of her husband, even in hard times. Visoba never told a falsehood either in his family life or in his business. He gave food to the hungry with respect. There was a dreadful famine in the land, and grain was sold at 2 payalis a rupee. Hungry Brahmins came and sat at his house. All his wealth and grain were consumed in charity. But the beggars knew nothing of the donor's own condition. A child struggles at its mother's breast, even though there is not a drop of milk in it. Although the subjects suffer many losses, still, the king considers them as false. A child cannot realize the ability or inability of its father. Likewise, a beggar does not understand the personal difficulties of one who befriends him. The hungry, therefore, came and sat at Visoba's door, and he gave food to all these, as his means permitted. When he could help in no other way, he sold his jewelry and valuable household items, and thereby gave food to the beggars. He cared nothing at all for popularity or affection. He had given up all care about his domestic life. He was even negligent of his body. And he meditated on the Lord of Pandari. He had no food for the hungry, and no one in the town could give him a loan. People said he has ruined his business and become notorious as a bankrupt. Some said he's a fool. He does not understand his own benefit. There are wise people who achieve both worldly gain and spiritual riches. Now those who will believe Visoba will themselves come to the same sad state. Men and women talked in this manner, and all called him names. Some of them said his fate is not favorable to him, for although he had wealth and grain, he never became wearied in using them for pilgrims. Visoba loans money from a Pathan. In Kasagaon, there was a Pathan who did not know Visoba's condition. Visoba borrowed money from him and again gave food to the hungry. He borrowed time and again, and the loan amounted to 700 rupees. He executed a loan bond in writing at an interest of 2% and gave it to him. There was an ascetic of superhuman power by name Rampuri Bawa. He had gone to Pandari on pilgrimage, and in order to test Visoba, he had assumed a very dirty appearance. He thought to himself, I must see his condition, whether he is the same to all beings, or whether he makes any distinctions. He took the filthy mud from the sewer and smeared his person with it. He fastened a string of tatters around his waist and wore a dirty loincloth. He took an earthen dish to eat from, and when the night advanced 3 hours, he went to his house. Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.